What's up YouTube, this is Fate, bringing you another deck profile, and today I'm going to be bringing you my Quasar Synchron build. Now originally I was running Plant Quasar build and having a lot of fun with it, but then when I learned that this structure deck for the Synchrons were just getting that much closer at hand, I've decided to make a retooling, go completely a different direction, and yep, Plant Quasar is no more. It's all about the Synchron Quasar, so without further ado, let's get to the profile. And to start things off, we start with the standard lineup of triple Junk Synchron, triple Quickdraw Synchron, and triple Jet Synchron to round out the Synchrons. And those of you that don't know what Jet Synchron does, it's basically another glow bulb, except for the fact that you have to discard out of your hand instead of from the top of your deck. So that's pretty much Jet Synchron in a nutshell, and is a very welcomed addition to this build. For the other monsters who help set up the place, we've got triple Mathematician. Helps get those key cards into the graveyard, whether it's Glow Bulb, Level Eater, Dandelion, Jet Synchron, whatever you need at the time. The next we run triple Doppel Warrior. Most people try to play two of these, which I don't understand. My theory is it's your special summoning out of your graveyard constantly, so why not run triple Doppel Warriors, get that free special summon, use them for Synchro Summon, and then get those extra tokens to follow up on more consistent Quasar plays. And then the last triple elf, we run triple Level Eater. With this type of build, you will find yourself going into the higher level Synchron Monsters more often than not. And Level Eater is a good out to that. Getting the extra monster on the field to continue on your Synchro plays, but at the same time bringing your higher leveled monsters down to a lower level to set off those Quasar plays anyway. And then for the supporter monsters, I still kept a little bit of the plant engine, so we run one Dandelion, one Glow Bulb, and one Spore. Did not think that I would need anything more than this to complete my combos, and so far it has tested out great. And for the last two supporters, I run one Synchron Explorer to have those utility summon plays when needed, if I haven't used the normal summon for the turn. And the last support monster is something that nobody is running. This is my personal Tekken, one Photon Thrasher. And a bunch of you are probably wondering why. My theory is it's a good level 4 Cyber Dragon type monster that doesn't require your opponent to have a monster on their side of the field. And since you run tons of level 1 tuners, there will be those brick hands where you wish you had that level 4 monster. So Photon Thrasher does provide that out when needed. That is it for the monsters. On to the spells. We run triple tuning. Really good searcher for all of your Synchron monsters when needed. Triple reinforcement of the army. Plenty of warrior monsters in the deck to search for to help combo with your utility plays plus one warrior. Triple Upstart Goblin. Got 37 cards deck, but at the same time it's really useful in this deck in my mind. Don't normally run Upstart in anything, but usually when I get all of my combos off, whether it's Quasar or just swarming the field, having that 1000 life gain to my opponent really has not stopped me from OTKing them. And for the remainder spells, I run double Mystical Space Typhoon for the back row hate, double Poor Man's Regeki, one 1-for-1 for the level 1 tuners, one Foolish Burial to set up the place, one Soul Charge in case you can't quite get to your plays and might as well flood the fields to set yourself with an overwhelming advantage anyway, and one Book of Moon for the lone defender back row of the build. Because I do not run any traps in here because they actually did slow down the build when I originally tested with them. That is it for the main deck. On to the extra deck. The honorary extra deck cards, 4 tokens. Tons of ways to use tokens in this build, got to have the tokens. And then on to the real extra deck. Run double formula Synchron. It is a must as a 2F in this build, not just for the continuing draw plays, but to make sure Quasar is consistent as possible in case you do end up losing one. The new level 4 that we just recently got in the Mega 10's Old Entity Hastor. Really great generic level 4 monster for Synchros. Not just with the 2300 attack, but his ability, the best way I can describe it is cards like Fiendish Chain and Dark Necrofear had a baby. That's the best way to describe that. On to the level 5s, you're on 1 XL Synchron. Really awesome synchro tuner in this build, not just for the level manipulation, but the fact that he also has the same opponent's main phase synchro ability as Formula Synchron. Very well welcomed addition for this build. 1 Jet Warrior, the main synchro monster originally used for the Jet Synchrons. Really good effect, bounces 1 card your opponent controls, so if there is a problematic card on your opponent's side of the field, he usually clears it and then you just continue on to your Quasar play. 1 Hyper Librarian for the extra draws. And 1 Armades for the offensive power in case you have a little wiggle room with the level 5s after you make Quasar or in the middle. And then for the other synchros, I run 1 Drill Warrior as the lone level 6 guy. Not too difficult to run into him, especially with Quickdraw Synchron and Level Eaters. This, and depending on what kind of hands you have, he helps recycle key monsters from your graveyard back to your hand to help set up future plays, as well as get himself off of the field for the turn. You do leave yourself a little vulnerable, but it is well worth it. For the level 7s, I run 1 Junk Archer. Why I'm still running Junk Archer, here's the key reason. With Xyz monsters with Xyz materials that can self-protect themselves, whether it's Gachi Gachi, Honor Arc, the Kasatsuchi Bujin monster, anything that can hurt you in the long run mid-play with Xyz monsters and Xyz materials, he helps bash that monster off the board, clears out those Xyz materials for when that monster comes back out, and after you have your board set up, Junk Archer definitely makes most Xyz monsters in the game extremely tame. And then for the other 2 level 7s, 1 Black Rose Dragon in case I need that field clear. And 1 Clearwind Synchro Dragon. This isn't originally one of my techs. I actually ended up watching this off of a YouTube video and saw how well Clearwind Synchro Dragon worked well, insanely well with Quasar, especially when you get both of them on the field. It is a very awesome addition to carry out those suffocating plays. And then for the higher level Synchron Monsters, I run 1 Junk Destroyer as the lone level 8. Tried running Stardust in here as well, but the room for the extra deck ended up being extremely tight, and that did not work out well. For the 2 level 10s, 1 Road Warrior to help facilitate those lower level synchro plays, and 1 Stardust Warrior. One of the monsters that requires Synchro Tuner and a non-sync. Yeah, 1 Tuner Synchro Monster and 1 non-Tuner Synchro Monster, but with XL Synchron, this guy is just fantastic when you do get him out, and if he does die, you generally go into a Road Warrior to set up your future plays, and it's just a really good recoverability with the Stardust Warrior card. And to round things out, 1 Quasar, Shooting Quasar Dragon, aka the OTK person. And with that, that is my Quasar Synchron build. Hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, comment, rate, and subscribe. And until next time.